All right, let's have Sean rock our world. Yay, Sean.
You know, it's funny about being Buddhist. Buddhism isn't very much of an ism. And, you know, I was on the board of a nonprofit interfaith organization for 6 years. And when I was doing the application, even though they invited me to be on the board, I had to do an application. It was probably the last time. I don't think you're allowed to ask what people's spiritual tradition is anymore, but it did ask, you know, what's my spiritual tradition? I've been their token Buddhist. It's Spiritual Directors International. I've been the token Buddhist for a while in that organization. And when I was filling out the form, I accidentally wrote Buddhish. And I thought, you know, that's more accurate. I'm going to keep that Buddhish because it's not a very, you know, it's not much of an ism, really. Yeah. You know, it's funny, when I was driving up here this morning, I started the car, the radio came on, and guess whose voice was on? I thought, that's a familiar voice. He's talking about writing. It's John Nichols. It's my friend John Nichols. And and what I wanted to address today is world peace. We're going to take care of that today, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of you have brought that up already. And of course, John was a major pacifist. And yet he somehow managed to balance, I think often his disappointment in the world, you know, with the positivity of creating art and creating writing and keeping his own life in balance, keeping his own peace in balance. That's what I want to talk about today. And I want to lead us in a practice that helps us keep our balance. Anybody have trouble keeping your balance these days amidst all this stuff? Oh my goodness, is it rough or what, you know? Yeah, but several of you already brought up the peace on earth, Mike, thank you. And then Jenny brought up wafting and the wafting fragrance of the lilacs, and then Terry brought up wildness, and so I think we're going to take a waft on the wild side today.
Good one.
Yeah, I don't know if everybody knows this, but a lot of you do, that I walked across the country in 1986 with a group called the Great Peace March for Nuclear Disarmament. And isn't it funny? And it's not very funny, but you know, I was of the last generation of the duck and cover generation. Anybody remember that? We practiced hiding under our desks in case the nuclear in case the nuclear bomb came when we were in second grade or whatever it was. You know? And wow. It's funny, that's in a way that issue has fallen into the background amidst all the other stuff. But Buddhishness, which I'm going to share Buddhist techniques with us today that can apply to any people of any background. It's designed to deal with that kind of trouble, that kind of suffering. And just a few things about the Great Peace March. It took us 9 months to walk across the country. We walked 3,000 miles. 600 of us slept in a tent city every night, and were occasionally joined by other people when we entered a big urban area. And then that triggered a series of other peace marches. There was one, believe it or not, the Soviet Union allowed a peace march of Americans and Westerners, Easterners, Russians and Americans to do a peace march in the Soviet Union, actually several of them. And then some of you know Judith Rain. She's a good friend of mine. She's had to move to Albuquerque, so our family can take better care of her. But she was on that march, and she and I are old friends from that. And she helped organize the Soviet Union marches. And then there was a march of Soviet citizens over here with Americans. So 1986, we did the Great Peace March. 1987, I forget the exact way that the timing laid out, but 1987, 1988, there were peace marches between Soviets and American citizens. And guess what happened in 1989? The Berlin Wall came down. And, when first some of my friends from the Peace March said we had something to do with it, I thought, oh, come on, But actually, the more I thought about it, the more I looked into the exact dates of it, I think, we have power beyond what we know sometimes. And I don't know whether the movement in the world influenced the fact that we were doing the peace marches, or the peace marches influenced the events, but they were all of a piece, and they had something to do with each other, But the funny thing about the Great Peace March is it was a group of activists, right? And I'm sure you've all seen this phenomenon of angry activists. Maybe we've all been one, I don't know. Maybe some of us have been an angry activist. It's so hard to deal with our anger, isn't it? So, and on the Great Peace March, there was, a core group of about 600 people. In that group of 600 people, there was a group of about 50 people who all come together. They called themselves the Anarchist Camp. And whatever the government of the Great Peace March, we had can you call it a government? We had a loose association of people who made some overall, rules and guidelines for how you can't just have 600 people walk across well, you kind of can have them walk without any rules, because that's what it eventually came down to. But anyway, anytime the government of the Great Peace March tried to pass any sort of, what stood for legislation, the anarchist camp would protest it. So they were so stuck in protesting that they protested even the Great Peace March's rules. So we can really get stuck in our anger, right? At the same time, we don't want to deny our anger, right? We want to, but I want to do about a 10 or 12 minute meditation, guided meditation with us all that I think a lot of you have done metta or loving kindness meditation, and this is a variation on that helps use the power of the heart to transform that. We try and get away from our anger, but it's there, isn't it? We don't want to inflict it, but on the other hand, we don't want to deny it, right? And there's power in it, and we want to help the world, but can you imagine what it was like 2,600 years ago in the time of the Buddha? It's like, the world was a mess then, it's a mess now, It's pretty much always been a mess. That's why these practices evolved. I hope 2,600 years from now, everyone will have grown in consciousness and it won't be as much of a mess. But we have grown in consciousness, haven't we? 500 years ago, or so, the divine right of kings to rule were in many cultures was not questioned, right? And that's it's not the way we do things now. And colonialism has largely fallen apart or become more subtle, at least. It still exists. Things have gotten better. And on the other hand, things are also out of hand. And this is just the human condition that we have to live with. So it's a practice to help us cope with that for ourselves, because it doesn't do any good for us to. These practices were developed to have inner peace, even in the face of very, very difficult circumstances. In the time of the Buddha in ancient India, if the next kingdom wanted to invade yours, you couldn't go out and hold signs up saying no war. It just wasn't, nobody's going to take it seriously, We have more power now than we did then. But still, we need to keep our own balance, and then we need to help radiate that out. So if we could all just settle into our seats in a comfortable way. What a lot of people don't realize is that meditation practice is a body-based practice, more than a mental practice, really. We've all tried to figure out with our heads what we should do about the big questions of life, the big difficulties in life. My joke is always that, when Einstein's wife was upset with him he couldn't say E equals MC squared, honey. You know, it wasn't gonna get him anywhere. That thinking mind is great for what it's great for, but it's not so good about answering a lot of the big questions about community, peacefulness, meaning of life, relationships, love, all of these things. So if we can just allow our attention to sink out of our heads into the area of the heart, just see if we can feel. The nice thing about the Community of Love, formerly Unity Church, is, hey, there's this warm feeling available to us, isn't there? We just drop into that warmth. And probably a lot of you are familiar with metta or loving kindness practice. And the way it works is we repeat silently to ourselves a series of positive phrases that we first send out to individuals, then to community, and then to the broader world. So generating this positive feeling in the heart. And I'll remind us and lead us through how that works. But we all have this reservoir of emotions, only energy, right? It's just energy in the body. And in the larger universe, energies shift from positive to negative, creation to destruction all the time, interchangeably. And we have that same power in our hearts if we're just willing to allow the kind of blocked or stuck energies, often grief or anger over the fate of the world. If we can allow that space in our hearts, then when we give out the metta phrases, the positive energies, some of that energy can be released as positivity. So you can just imagine inhaling into the heart area and exhaling for just a minute or two. Meditation is always about coming to the present moment. So it's a practice of reality, dropping out of our mental fabrications. Our projections into the future, our memories of past, our analyses of the present. All that's really happening in our lives right now is here we are. We're spending our whole lives together. The actuality of who and what we are is only happening here at this moment. So as we continue to feel our breath in the heart area, we might notice that with each exhale, we have a tendency to settle and accept what's present and to relax. And that's a pleasant feeling. So it's very helpful to sink into that quiet pleasantness. It's an encouragement to stay with it so that these kind of practices don't become something we gotta do. We have too many gottas already. This is a pleasure and a relief. Just sink into the heart and feel that complexity of love and sadness and all of it. And as we continue to keep our attention in the heart area, feeling our breath, I'd like us to bring to mind or to heart the image or feeling, whatever works for you, of a being for whom you have unconditional positive regard. It's probably not best to choose a family member unless it's an infant or a grandchild or somebody you've got really an uncomplicated relationship with. Sometimes it's best to choose an animal because we often have unconditional relationships. I do with Monty, our little chihuahua. I often bring him to heart and mind. There's nothing complex about the love I have for him. him for me. He's just shining little being. And even when he poops in the wrong place, I still, it's unconditional. So, whatever. And we're going to send some version of the following good wishes towards this being, whoever it is. May you be happy, or content, or joyous, any version you like. May you be healthy, or well, or strong. May you be protected, safe from harm. May you live at ease or at peace. May you be free from suffering. You can modify those good wishes or add anything to it you like. There are many versions of this. What we're using today is happiness, health, safety. Living at ease or at peace with oneself and others. Being free from suffering. Until we get the hang of it, I'll repeat a few more times, but you can just repeat silently. Sometimes we feel a warmth in our heart during this practice. Sometimes we don't feel anything. Sometimes we feel resistance. Sometimes we cry. Any of that is okay. We can invite into our hearts on the inhale any blocked feeling in the body, and on the exhale knowing that it will join with these phrases and turn to positivity. The heart has that power. Inhaling in and accepting what is, and exhaling, may you be happy. May you be healthy, well or strong. May you be safe, protected from harm. May you live peacefully and at ease. May you be free from suffering. And just a few more times to one's self, quietly, sending out any version of those wishes. If you forget some of them, that's fine. The words are just carriers for the feeling. Wishing this being happiness, health, safety, ease and peacefulness, freedom from suffering. Now inviting into our hearts and our minds the image or feeling of ourselves as a child. It can be hard to send positivity to ourselves sometimes. But I think we all know as a child, we deserve that. So not choosing the most difficult moment of our childhood, but some moment where we just could use some extra love, extra care. Sending those same wishes towards us, towards ourselves as a child. And you can use you or I, depending on how you feel about it. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be safe, protected from harm. May I live at ease, at peace with myself and others. May I be free from suffering. So allowing everything that is within us to come into the heart on the inhale, and on the exhale, giving it all away as positivity. We don't need to hold anything back if positive energies fill from within. May we be happy, healthy, safe, protected from harm. May we live at ease, at peace, within and without. May we be free from suffering. A couple more times just to ourselves silently. And the tricky one is bringing ourselves just as we are in this moment today into heart and mind, the image or feeling of ourselves just as we are right now. Sending ourselves the same good wishes. May I be happy. Or content or joyous, whatever version you like. May I be healthy, well, strong. May I be safe, protected from harm. May I live peacefully, at ease. May I be free from suffering. Just another time or two to ourselves. If we feel reservations or resistance, that's fine. Just send some of that positive energy towards the resistance. I don't think we'd hesitate to send love and good wishes to any other human that we know. So why not send it to ourselves as well? Happiness, health, safety, peace, freedom from suffering. Now bringing to mind a neutral person, somebody, maybe someone we see here on Sundays who we don't know very well, someone we see at the post office or the grocery, someone we'd recognize but have no strong feeling towards, one way or the other. I tend to use a clerk at the post office, and I notice he gets happier every day. So, may this person be happy. May they be healthy. May they be safe. May they be peaceful, live at ease. May they be free from suffering. Another time or two, just keeping our attention in our heart region. Any energy has gathered there, positivity, give it to this neutral person. Now bringing into heart and mind. You can help to imagine inhaling into the heart the image or feeling of someone we have a little trouble with. Maybe not our most difficult person, but someone we have a little friction with, but we really feel like it's time to let go of it. We're ready to heal that. So, drawing the image or feeling of them into the heart and mind. May they be happy, may they be healthy, may they be safe, may they live at peace, especially with us. May they be free from suffering. Another time or two just to yourself, quietly sending to this frictional human wishes for happiness, health, safety, ease or peace, freedom from suffering. Now let's let those good wishes radiate out towards your personal community, everyone you know, acquaintances, friends, relatives, close people, co-workers, distant people, neighbors, including always ourselves. May we all be happy. May we all be healthy. May we all be safe. May we all be peaceful and live at ease with each other. May we be free from suffering. Let's imagine this, more than imagine, let's allow this feeling of care to extend further through our community, to the people gathered here, including ourselves, but to our region, Taos Valley, surrounding hills and mountains, the gorge, the river, the animals, the ecosystems, plants, creatures of the air and of the waters, people, all beings. May all be happy, may all be healthy, may all be safe, may all be peaceful, may all be free from suffering. Allowing the circle to radiate out further. New Mexico, Colorado, Arizona, down to Mexico, yes, even over to Texas and Oklahoma. May all beings be happy. May all be healthy. May all be safe. May all be peaceful. Despite disagreements, despite conflicts, may we all find a way to include that in the circle of care. May we all be free from suffering. Letting that circle of care radiate out further throughout the West and towards the East and up to Canada and Alaska and down to Central America. The creatures of the oceans, rivers, deserts, mountains, forests, sky, cities, people, animals, plants, ecosystems, may all be happy, may all be healthy, may all be safe, may all live at peace, may all be free from suffering. Allowing the circle of care to spread out across the oceans down to the southern hemisphere, the western or eastern hemisphere, which is exactly the same thing, isn't it? Funny, but it is. If we go to the other hemisphere, in either direction, all circling the globe, including areas of conflict and difficulty, areas that are at peace. May all be happy, may all be healthy, may all be protected and safe, may all live at peace, may all be free from suffering. You can radiate out as far as you like into the universe, into other dimensions, into past, into future. Time doesn't really exist in this zone. And we're not limited by space either. We can just radiate out that positive energy throughout all existence. May all be happy, content, joyous. May all be healthy, well, strong, vital. May all be safe, protected from harm. May all be at peace. May all be free from suffering. I'll leave you for a minute or two to just close in your own way. You can send that energy further and further out, or you can send it to a particular region or person who particularly needs it. Please include yourself. We need to be at peace to be able to help others be at peace. And as we feel ready, just come back to this body, this room. Thank you, everyone. I see some people don't want to stop. Yeah, keep sending it out. I lost time a little bit there, so I hoped we have a few minutes for questions, but if you ever think you can't meditate for 20 minutes at a time, I think that's basically what we just did. So yeah, I did want to mention one other thing, which is we do this for ourselves in the world, and it has some impact. I don't have any doubt it has impact. At the same time, we do what else we can. And for those of us who have a house and a secured life, please send some money out to Gaza, where people are starving. Please send some to Ukraine. Please send some to climate activism. There's a totally free way that I do a lot of giving, which is if you go to greatergood.com, they've got a system where their advertisers will, if you just click on their site, will donate a small amount of money towards hunger. There's about a dozen different linked sites: hunger, animals, rainforest preservation, just by clicking a lot of days. I forget sometimes, but yeah, I probably saved some acres of rainforest. I know I have. So yeah, all you have to do is go there and click, and it doesn't cost a thing.
What's it called?
It's called greatergood.com. And it takes a couple minutes to click all 12 sites. One's for breast cancer, one's for literacy, one's for autism, one's for rainforest, one's for hunger, one's for animals, one's for, and let's encourage those advertisers to kick something back, so anyway. Yeah, I don't know if we have a minute. Jenny's the boss, you're the boss. Do we have a minute for any comments or questions?
Yeah. Everyone's so peaceful and blissed out. If there's any questions.
Yeah, Danielle?
I have a little story. When I used to travel doing shows, one day I'm sitting in my booth, and there were lots of people and nobody coming, and I thought, I can just be peaceful. And the Dalai Lama talks about when you see somebody, you just think, I wish you happiness or peace or whatever. So I started doing that meditation as people were walking by. And I swear, within 5 minutes, my booth was packed. People were waving their credit cards at me. And I went, I didn't do it for that. But it's amazing how people are attracted to positive energy.
It's true, it's true.
It was just like, wow,
Yeah.
so simple. Driving down the highway, each car, I wish you peace, I wish you happiness. It's
We're not really separate. It does have some effect, and I've witnessed that kind of thing a number of times, yeah.
yeah.
what you're describing, Daniel. Thank you. Someone in the back. Yes,
Yeah,
hi.
when I sell newspapers on Thursdays, I'm always saying, many blessings to you, include them and their pets, and I even say it to the ones that don't even stop, they just drive by.
Yeah. I've noticed that there's all chaos on the highway because everyone's doing U-turns to come back and buy your paper, aren't they? No, it's true. It doesn't cost us anything to just send out those positive energies, and it makes a difference, But it's definitely better on the highway to do that than flip them a bird, Yeah, Keith.
And then there's like, they've done studies or whatever where groups have meditated in cities and the crime rates have gone down.
It's true.
So I mean, it's
Yeah.
like scientifically proven.
There's research that supports it, true, that when groups start to meditate, as a group like this, we generate more energy together than we ever could by ourselves. Yeah, hi.
Last weekend I had a little reunion with two of my friends I hadn't seen in 30 years in Golden, where I'd gone to college at Europa.
Oh, I went to Europa.
Well, we'll have to talk, but anyway. And one of them said that one of the practices that one of her friends was doing was saying, "What is love asking of me today?
Mm,
What is love asking of me today?"
mm,
And it just, something in me just like, whoa.
mm.
If I'm walking in that way, there's just no question. I just have to stay in that space of love, regardless of what is happening.
It's
And
beautiful.
that shifted something in me.
What is love asking of me today is the phrase that your
What
friend,
is love
yeah,
asking of me today?
yeah. Lovely question to sit with, yeah. One more, Ken? Did you wish?
I was just thinking about your peace walk, the whole peace walk. I remember that event. I had another one following it. And it's like about that you just spin off the energy coming, took down the wall. It was part of the wave of kindness that caused that moment to happen. And just before that was maybe 8 when we had our harmonic convergence group.
Oh, Ken's talking about the harmonic convergence experience, yeah, in '88, yeah.
Shaking it up out
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
And, I just get chill thinking.
Yeah.
about it.
Well, yeah,
So there was a really good dynamic going around from the 90s. And I think it's about time.
we got back to it, yeah.
Way overdue, but-
A lot of us are of the generation that stopped the Vietnam War, it's serious, there's serious power within our hearts, so, yeah. Thank you all for sharing that. Yeah, such a lovely feeling in the room. Thank you, Jenny.
Turn it up when you're feeling small. Turn it up, get away from it all. Go within, it's where it all begins. Turn it up all the way to 10. Turn it up again and again. Go within, it's where it all begins. Turn up your heart. Turn up your heart. Turn up your heart. Turn up your heart. Turn it up when it's gonna break. Turn it up when it's more than you can take. Breathe it in, breathe it in. It's where the healing begins. Turn it up till you feel the glow deep in your soul. Breathe it in, breathe it in. It's where it all begins. Turn up your heart. Turn up your heart. Turn up your heart. Turn up your heart. Turn it up now. Turn up your heart. Turn up your heart. Turn it up now. Turn up your heart. Turn it 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 up now. Turn certainly can, Teresa. You certainly can, you certainly can. Just turn up your heart, turn up your heart, turn up your heart, turn up your heart, turn it up right now. Just turn up your heart, turn it up now.
Turn it up to 12, right?
There's a video of that, actually Omar has on his amp, he turns it up to 10 and that was really fun.
And then
to
turns
do.
it to 12?
It only goes up to 10 on the amp, but you can go up to 12 and beyond to infinity. And now we're gonna sing our love song, cause we can't get enough of it. Now there is love on earth and it has begun with me. Now there is love on earth, a love that was meant to be. With all our relations, loved ones all are we. Now I walk with my family in perfect harmony. Love has begun with me, and this is the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in love eternally. Now there is love on earth, and it has begun with me. We are the light, the love, and the presence. Wherever we are, love is. And all is well. Now Mirabai Star next Sunday for Mother's Day, so bring everybody you know. And then we'll have Zach doing a talk. There he is. Zach's gonna do a talk. And then we're gonna have Omar Rain, just because Dave asked to bring him back and he'll be playing. And Michael Mandrell, we got so much good stuff coming at you.
So please join us sometime for noon meditation on Wednesdays. Dave's there. Look, we've made him everything he is today. You don't have to be a serious meditator to drop in occasionally, so please just come and be a humorous meditator anyway. It's much better.
I hear it's a lot of fun.
It's in the dome, right?
In the dome.
In the dome.
There's no place
Wednesdays
like
at
dome.
noon.
All right.
Adios.